Hello crafty family, it's Dee and welcome to my kiddie pool gardening series. Now we are on week 7. Yes, 7 weeks in, and here is an overview of my garden. So here are my tomato plants, my Roma tomatoes and cherry tomatoes, and they are doing very well. These right here are my husky tomato bushes, and they are very strong and they are producing. And here are my zucchini plants. They're greening up nicely. Now they did have some yellowing as you see here, but I just added fertilizer and now they're starting to thrive very well. And here are my blue lake bush beans that are starting to grow, and all of my pepper plants are hanging out alongside of those. And here are my bell peppers. Look at these babies go. They're so green. And check out my banana pepper. It's growing very well. Here's a close-up of my blue lake bush beans, and it looks like they're getting some sprouts soon. And look, I have my first little baby zucchini female pod there, so I'm hoping I get flowers soon. And here are my tomatoes on my husky plant. And here are my cherry tomatoes on my yellow cherry plant. And these right here are my San Marizanos coming along. And look at this bell pepper. I'll be picking this one soon. And here is my overview for the beginning of the week. Now 3 days later, we had some heavy rain, so I had to go out and see how things were going. And oh my goodness, they just love the rain. Look how green and lush the garden is. And here are my tomatoes. Now they're getting really big and bushy, so I'll probably be trimming these back this week. And my husky reds are doing well, and I see flowers there, so they're still producing. And here are my zucchini, and look at those. I have flowers, so I'm really excited to see that, and that I'll be getting some fruit soon, hopefully. And look at my blue lake bush beans. They're over the edge of the bag, so that rain definitely has helped these. And here are all my pepper plants. They're continuing to flower and to make baby peppers, so I'm excited about that. And here are my San Marizano tomatoes on the bush. And here are my yellow cherry tomatoes, still going well. And my husky red tomatoes, these things are producing like crazy. So I'm really excited to see those when they start to redden up and I'm ready to harvest them. And look, I found my first little zucchini. Yay! This one was touch and go for a while, but I am really excited to see them coming along. And here is my banana pepper here and my first snacking peppers. And here's an overview after that big rain. It's so pretty and green. I love it. So now we're at the end of the week, and oh my goodness, look at how beautiful the garden is. Now I am noticing I'm having a lot of cherry tomato production, and I'm going to be snapping off some of those stems and maybe trying to root them this week. And my husky tomatoes are getting very large, so I think I want to kind of get those staked and see if they will do better. And here are my zucchini plants. They're greening up. It's still producing those flowers. I love how green and lush that they are now, and I'm so glad that the fertilizer and the treatments that we did helped them. And here are my blue lake bush beans. They're getting so full and pretty. I'm so excited for that. And all of my pepper plants are still growing strong, and I'm getting my first little ones on there. And here is the overview of the entire garden at the end of the week. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to be staking my tomatoes and my peppers. So I'm going to be using these sturdy bamboo plant stakes. I use these every year for my plants, and they're very, very strong. So they come in about a length of 6 to 8 feet, and you can just simply cut these off to the length that you want, and you can add them to your plants for stakes. I'll be securing the plants with this natural jute twine here, and I'm just going to be tying those loosely around the stakes, and I'll be cutting the stakes with these wire clippers. So I'm going to start off with this large husky tomato bush. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to find a place to stick it in the plant. Now I'm wanting to put it right next to that stem and nestle it in between some branches. So those branches will help support the plant, and everything will stay in place. So I'm going to find a good place on that nice thick stem to tie and secure it to that stake. And then for this second one, it was growing kind of all kinds of ways. So I was really trying to work to find the best place to put that without damaging or bruising any of the fruit on that stem. And what I ended up finally doing was going in the side at an angle and nestling in between two heavy fruit-bearing branches, and that's what seemed to work. So once I found that nice little sweet spot, I went ahead and I tied that branch to the stake and I cut it off. And then I moved over to my pepper plants. My pepper plants are doing well. Being that they're now starting to produce some heavy fruits, I wanted to go ahead and add stakes to them so they don't start leaning. So I just added one stake next to the main stem of the 4 big pepper plants, and I just tied the jute tie around the base of the stem around the stake. Now I'm not tying these very tight. In fact, I'm doing it very loosely because the plants are continuing to grow and I want to be able to adjust it as the plant grows. And here is an overview of how I stake them. So here are the stakes on the plants, and so they're nice and they're tied loosely on that stem. But they still provide them enough support. And it's the same with the pepper plants. We just go ahead and I tied a double knot that's kind of loose where the plants can actually move and grow. And then for fertilizing, all I use is this Miracle-Gro plant food, nothing special, and I also use compost and eggshells when I have them on hand. So I pre-mix the granules 1 tablespoon per gallon, and I'll pour in about 1/4 of the jug into each plant, and this should fertilize it 2 weeks approximately, and maybe more often if your fruit is bearing. So here are my husky tomatoes at the end of the week. I'm really happy with that, and look, my zucchini is growing so well, so excited. And I did leave those peppermint Q-tips in there so they're not bothering the bees, so that is a good thing. Here are my first snacking peppers as well, and here are a bunch of banana peppers. My bell peppers are growing strong, and I probably will be picking these this week. And here's my San Marizano tomatoes. Here's more cherry tomatoes still going. And also, look at the bees, they're working. Listen, if you love to garden and you're planning to garden, give this video a thumbs up and let me know in the comments what you plan to grow. Be sure to check out next week where I'll be showing you more progress and letting you know the results of everything that I did this week. Thank you so much for tuning in and following my gardening journey. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss an update. Be safe, and I will see you all next Sunday in my next gardening video.